Hello, family. Hello, family. We are back. I know that there has been a conspicuous lapse in light of me incessantly giving my analysis regarding this nutcase in the person of Darrell Edward Brooks, aka Sewer Rat, the fool in question. Let's dive in and I will intermittently interject my thoughts.
You were at during the in Frank Park?
No, it was in the parking lot, the first side of the parking lot, kind of by the baseball field, I think that is. If that
Do
is the
you,
baseball field.
do you recall who you were with?
Nobody. I was with Corey on November 21st, and the first day on November 20th, I was by myself.
So it would be fair to say that you went to.
Intentionally on the 20th, yes.
Were you drinking that day?
Oh
No.
my God! You know,
And how?
I have to say this, and those of you that had seen the beginning or saw the beginning of when he had questioned Erica Patterson, he immediately, after uh, telling her happy birthday, because it was actually her birthday that day, but as soon as he told her happy birthday, and she said thank you, and that smile just went to a frown, and he start going right after her about the drinking. And so here he is again attacking this woman in light of her drinking habits. Ah, this man is sick.
How did you know how to get to Frank Park, as you call it?
I knew how to get to Frame Park 'cause I'd been the previous times before that with Miss Corey. Walking past it, I knew how to get there because Corey walked with me that day too. I just was not with her. She walked towards there with me.
And so then you separated?
Yes.
You can tell that Erica Patterson is getting very, very frustrated, and for good reason. If somebody keeps asking you the same thing, he's just invariably asking her, and really to no avail because it's not really hitting at anything. And usually, of course, the state would object, um, but I believe the judge is allowing it to try to find out where's the foundation that he's building, but it's really going anywhere. And you will see that she's going to have some growing frustrations about it, which will lead her to enforce the 90611, um, enticing him, well, instructing him to move on.
Did you separate from Miss Corey at any time during the 21st?
Yes, I did. She left with Nick and I was with Mr. Darrell Brooks.
Why didn't you just say you? Who's you?
Do you recall, to the best of your knowledge, that it may have been someone else that she was with, that was with you that day?
She was by which day? Are you clarifying? Which day?
November the 21st of 2021.
She was with Nick that day.
The entire day?
Yes.
Where is he going with these questions?
And you guys separated from that point?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say you guys separated after hanging out and drinking?
Mr. Brooks, under 906.11, sub 1, sub C,
Where's he going?
you need to move on to a new topic.
Thank you.
You've been over this multiple times. It's been asked, it's been answered, and now it's under my authority under 906.11, sub 1, sub C, you need to move on.
I wish this was a ghetto court. A ghetto court, because she'd have like, we've been over this. Now it's getting annoying. But of course, she can't say that because that would be biased. All right, come on.
So, to the best of your knowledge, well, let me back up. How did you communicate with the alleged defendant on November 20th of 2021?
Phone calls.
Strictly phone calls, texts?
Both. Mostly phone calls.
Do you remember what was said in those texts and phone
Same
calls?
conversation we had on the 21st. He was mad because I wasn't giving him money from not bailing him out.
So wait a minute. Think about that. Think about that. These people who were innocent in light of his dealings with Erica Patterson, because they didn't have anything to do with it. Well, I'm talking about the people down at the Waukesha parade. All right. The ones that were killed, the people that were injured. All right. So basically, they died because of money. Think about it. She didn't give him any money. And that led that basically started all of this. Those people died because of money. And what does the Bible say about the love of money? Is the root of all evil. hmm It was because of money that caused him to perform evil down at that parade. That is crazy.
So why would you meet up with the alleged defendant that day?
Because I just wanted to. We have a 15-year-old together. I mean, I was always going to talk to you then.
Do you remember if there was any agreed upon meeting up that day?
Yes.
By you, by the alleged defendant?
Why does it matter? Why does that matter?
Do you remember the reason why you were meeting up?
I just said why.
You know what's funny about what crazy about this is that I'm getting frustrated by these questions. So can you imagine how frustrated she was in real time being asked these questions by this fool in question?
So it would be just to conversate?
Just to conversate.
Would it be fair to say that you could have communicated strictly by the phone?
Yes.
Objection.
Under 906.
Thank you.
11 sub 1 sub C. The objection is sustained. Next
Thank you.
topic, if you have one, Mr. Brooks.
She should have just ended it right there.
You said that you came to Wisconsin from another state. Would that be fair to say?
Atlanta, Georgia, yes. June 13th, 2021.
And why did you leave Georgia?
We were coming out here for 2 weeks, and I never went back.
Can you state why you never went back?
Number one, I came out here, I didn't have money. Number two, I had no way to get back. And you were always, Mr. Brooks was always physical.
Wow.
So at any time were you ever offered money to go back to Georgia, or did anybody at any time ever?
No.
Did anybody at any time ever lend any help to help you go back to Georgia?
No.
I don't know why the judge is allowing this, because this has no relevance. He's going nowhere. This is circular. This is a dog chasing his tail. I'm shocked that Judge Darrel is entertaining this. This is crazy.
Did you, to the best of your recollection, did you want to go back to Georgia?
Objection.
Thank you.
Sustained.
Thank you.
Next question,
Thank
please.
you. Not relevant at all.
So why didn't you file a report with law enforcement on November the 20th after you alleged that you were abused?
Because I've been dealing with it for so many years, I just didn't do it.
Wow. And let me just say something right there. So basically, he abused her for so many years that she just became immune to abuse. Isn't that crazy? She was just so used to it. Can you imagine somebody just physically just whooping on you, beating on you? But now you've just become accustomed to that protocol. But then, then it begs a question, well, why did Erica have to put up with it? But she probably had to, because She came there to live with him. She didn't have anything. She was living in the truck with him. Where was she gonna go? So she probably was at the behest of that abuse because of her situation. So she basically had to deal with that. Wow. 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 It's just ironic how everything plays out, how he was so abusive to women, and ironically, look at the overlap, y'all. Ironically, you have a woman judge that has authority over him, even though he doesn't think so. You have women prosecutors, and those women put him away as his result of abuse on women. Isn't that ironic? God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly at all. That is crazy. He abused her to the point where she just became immune to that abuse. She said she's been dealing with it for so many years. That's probably why he felt that he had that kind of authority over her, even when he was trying to get her not to make the report of what he did. They said that he was calling her from jail, trying to get her to drop all this. But he felt that he could do that because he had that kind of authority over her, and she was so immune to abuse until she just let him be abusive until karma kicked in. Karma in the form of a woman judge. Karma in the form of two sitting prosecutors. Look at that. Come on.
I don't see what this has anything to do with
I don't see
this
it either.
case.
How long have you known the alleged defendant again?
Since I was 15. I'm 32 now.
Right. She was a minor.
Would it be fair to say that you lived in different states from the alleged defendant?
Yes, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was.
I was going to object and ask for a clarification on the timeline there.
I'll sustain the objection. Rephrase the question.
I was going to get to that, Your Honor. Would it be fair to say that during the duration of the time knowing the alleged defendant that the majority of that time you did not live in the same area or state?
Yes, off and on. I met Mr. Brooks in Reno, Nevada. I moved out of Reno, Nevada in 2017 to Atlanta, Georgia. I moved Mr. Brooks throughout. I've known him throughout, back and forth, off and on.
This is not relevant.
The whole 16 years, me and Mr. Brooks are not together.
I'm surprised when Zach objected, he wanted to know about the timeline, but I think he should have objected and said relevant. All right, because I don't see what this has to do.
But it was off and on.
Did you guys live in the same area off and on during that time?
Objection. Has to answer.
Sustain.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Out of the 16 years you said it was, correct?
Yes, off and on, Mr. Brooks.
How much of that time did you actually spend with the alleged defendant?
Objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sustained.
Thank you.
Also under 906.11 sub 1.
Change the
sub
topic.
C. Move on.
It's going nowhere. Not at all. This is just basically.
At the time of this alleged incident, were you and the alleged defendant in any kind of relationship?
Yes.
This is all delay.
And were you a couple? Were you just co-parenting, or what was the nature of the relationship? Is basically
we were together. I wouldn't have came to Milwaukee, Wisconsin if I was not with him.
So it'd be fair to say that you were in a committed relationship.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that she was a minor when you impregnated her? You fool. All he's doing is trying to paint a picture of like her being bad as a mother. And how dare him? I mean, how do you have that kind of temerity to do that given your history? Give your Sue Opera read a litany, a paragraph, libraries, a whole book of atrocities he's committed? What gives him the right to question her? Judge Darrel needs to shut this down right away. He's gonna go right back to her drinking.
One second, I'm just going over something.
She is like so pissed off. I don't blame her. Can you imagine facing the person that tried to run you over?
Would it be fair to say
Being questioned by
I'm
her.
sorry, I didn't
Go
know.
ahead. No, there was a water bottle being provided.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I felt sorry for some of the
How did before you came back into contact with the alleged defendant, how long had it been since you had seen the alleged defendant?
I don't know, but it was years, a couple years.
So it would be fair to say that there was a significant gap in between interactions with the alleged defendant.
Yes.
Relevance.
Sustained, however, she provided the answer. It may stand. Next question.
But where is it going, Judge? Where is it going? Nowhere. Not to his defense. So what's the point? Shut it down, Darrel, please.
So during your time, approximately how long were you staying around the alleged defendant before this incident on November 21st?
That's
took
not
place?
relevant.
I don't know the exact time. I just answered your question on the exact time.
You just said, I would have said IDK. IDK.
Were there any separations or gaps during that time?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Thank you. You know what? He's just asking her questions just that mean nothing, that's meritless, just for no reason. All right. This should be over. Hopefully he asks another irrelevant question so she can utilize the 906.11 to stop this horrific interrogation. This is going nowhere but off a cliff. Obviously,
At any time during these alleged incidents, were you with someone other than Miss Corey?
Corey and Nick the day of the 21st, and then we separated and I met back up with them.
Any time during that day were you with anyone else besides those two that you just named?
Mr. Brooks, you.
What about the alleged incident on the 20th?
I left with Miss Corey, and then she went a whole different direction, and I went to Frame Park and met up with Mr. Brooks.
this is brutal. I mean, you could imagine how brutal it was when he was making a mockery of the victims that he actually ran over, the families and stuff. You can imagine how brutal being questioned by the person that killed your family members, and you got to sit on the stand and face that. How do you keep that kind of composure? You know what I believe? I believe that I believe that if somebody attacked him in that courtroom, I don't believe that Judge Darrel would have put that person in contempt. If they would have attacked Brooks in that court, I don't believe nobody went to jail that day, other than Mr. Brooks going back to jail to come back on day 2. I know that's right. All right. Well, listen, that's just like somebody was saying, well, what if he would have won the case? Either way, he would have been dead, either jail or death. They would have came up with the death penalty that day. in that courtroom. Trust me. Exactly.
Just 1 second, Your Honor.
You can tell he's unprepared. Taking 2 hours to ask one question. Come on. Oh, I forgot. He's winging it. I'm winging it, Your Honor.
So, to the best of your recollection, you were not drinking
Oh,
on
God.
both of those days that you cite, the
Stop
20th
it.
for the 21st.
The 20.
Hold on. Mr. Brooks, under 90611, I'm stopping this cross-examination. You've asked the same question, multiple questions, multiple times, and at this point, I'm going to declare that the opportunity to cross is now concluded.
I didn't know that was the same question, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, it's been asked and answered multiple times. So with
I
that,
was going to say, if you don't know, now you know.
I'm going to turn to the state to see if they have any redirect.
Just some brief clarification.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Ms. Patterson, after the parade incident, which took place after the video we saw, right?
Yes.
Okay. You remember meeting with Detectives Jessica Barron and Steve Guth that night?
Yes.
Okay. And you gave a statement to them that night, correct?
Yes.
You gave a second statement to Detective Guth the next day. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk very briefly about that first statement, the night of the 21st, the night of the parade incident.
Yes.
You told them about an incident that had happened between you and the defendant on November 20th, is that right?
Yes.
And you also told them about an argument that you had had with the defendant on the 21st, is that right?
Yes.
But you left out the part about any physical violence on the 21st, is that accurate?
Yes.
And then when you met with Detective Guth for your second statement,
Yes.
on the 22nd, that's when you confirmed that there had been violence with Mr. Brooks on the 21st, is that right?
Yeah, yes. Well, they seen my eye on the 21st when they came, so I did let them know about the incident on the 21st. I did. The next day, I let him know about the incident on the 20th. Is what happened.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Thank you.
To make it better. Sorry.
Good. That's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. You may step
Thank
down.
you, Your Honor.
Darrell was mad, asking her the same question back and forth.
All right, and any reason to keep her under subpoena from the state?
No.
From the defense?
Yes.
Do you have a subpoena for her?
To my understanding, I was supposed to.
All right, I'll take that up in a little bit. For now, I'd ask that she be maintained under the state subpoena until I can clarify that issue. All right, state have the next witness available.
Yes, we do.
He is pissed.
Mr. Brooks, please. Before the next witness comes in, if my ladies and gentlemen of the jury want to take a quick moment to stand.
I don't know what he pissed for. He was asking her the same question. Under her authority, she had the right to stop this train wreck. He's gesturing. I don't know what was all that about. What do you expect? Asking her the same stupid question. That went nowhere. I'm surprised the judge let it go as long as it did. And you want to complain this was an unfair trial to you? Man, you was asking irrelevant questions incessantly. And she let it go by.
Yep. All right, thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
Who you talking to? Now, this is going to be an interesting
Right.
witness. That's going to
The state may call its next witness.
The state calls Detective Steve Guth.
All right. Detective, please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated. When you are seated, if you would please state your first and last names for the record and spell both.
Detective Stephen Guth.
StevenGuth.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Detective, what do you do for a living?
I'm a detective for the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you worked for the police department?
20 years.
How long as a detective?
7 years.
Okay. Were you working as a detective on November 22nd of 2021?
Yes, I was.
On that date, did you meet with a person by the name of Erica Patterson?
Yes, I did.
What was the purpose of meeting with Miss Patterson?
I wanted to clarify her statement to me regarding a domestic related incident that had occurred.
And as part of that clarification, did you get into a squad car with Miss Patterson?
I did.
And what was the point of doing that?
I wanted to ride in the car with her since she was unfamiliar with the geography of the city, and so that she could point out to me specific directions on where she went with Mr. Brooks.
Could we have Exhibit 1 up on the screen for the jury, please, and for the witness?
Permission to publish Exhibit 1. Granted. I'll go over here for a moment. It's the rear laptop, correct?
Yep. Laptop?
And you said publish, right?
Yes, please.
All right.
For those of you that are watching this, you will notice that there is a stark difference between a real attorney's question versus this fool in questions question.
Confirm that that's what you
Fool in
want?
questions.
It is.
All right. And permission to publish is granted.
Look at him sitting there looking like a fool in question. He's a fool
Can we zoom
in
in on the
question.
top right corner of this exhibit? Okay. Where did you first, or where did this journey with Miss Phillips, or Patterson, excuse me, Miss Patterson begin?
Once I picked her up, we moved to Frame Park, and we parked in the area that's close to where that star is, where it says Frame Park.
In the top right corner?
Correct.
Okay. And where did you go from there?
From there, we traveled on Baxter. So the way that the frame park is here, can I touch the screen?
Do we have the ability to let the witness touch and
Yes.
mark?
Just let us know at what points we'll capture it, and then we can also print it at another location, and if need be.
So we met generally in that area that's highlighted now in yellow. And we traveled in this direction on Baxter.
Okay. And then what?
As we continued down Baxter, we got to this street called Buckley, and then from Buckley, we made a right turn and ended up on Carina.
Let's go back up.
Yeah, don't
And
move the
let's-
screen until we can capture it.
Let's capture there. And we probably need to,
Second, if you saw the little number counting the percentage, that means it's done capturing it once it stops.
okay. Can we clear that now?
Yes.
And let's zoom out.
We'll get that printed and we'll have that marked as 1A.
Now, from where you left off there, after you made that right turn onto Buckley, can you draw on the screen where you went next?
Yeah, so again on Buckley, we did travel down Buckley to Carina. And then on Carina, we made a left turn, traveling along the river till we reached Barstow. And then from Barstow, we made a right turn, traveling up northwest Barstow, all the way to the Barstow Hill, where it's highlighted in green there, up the Barstow Hill, and it's going to come off the map, but all the way up to Bidwell.
Okay. And did she indicate at what point you should turn around?
At Bidwell and northwest Barstow.
Did she indicate where she went with Mr. Brooks after that?
Well, she jumped out of the car at Bidwell and northwest Barstow.
And what happened, according to Miss Patterson, at that point?
At that point, she started making her way back the same path, back to Frame Park. Again, because she was unfamiliar with the geography, she just used the same route that she just went.
Okay. Did she at any point mention a gas station on that route?
Yes, she did.
Do you see that gas station depicted on Exhibit 1?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us where it is?
Yes, it's the mobile gas station highlighted with a star, and I'll circle it in that area.
Do we have a screen capture here?
Yes. The screen capture has been done. When we get that color print brought to the courtroom, that will be 1B.
Okay. And this map is you're familiar with Waukesha, right?
Yes.
This is an accurate map of Waukesha.
Yes, it is.
And the markings that you've put on the screen here, that's an accurate representation of the route you took with Miss Patterson on November 22nd.
Yes, it is.
Move exhibits 1A and 1B into evidence.
Any objection?
Yes.
The objection noted, it's overruled. Exhibits 1A and 1B are received by the court.
That's all I have for this witness.
He objected every time the state wanted the judge to permission to publish in front of the jury. He objected every time, and he always object on relevance. Why would an exhibit not be relevant? Because it wouldn't make any sense for them to be showing it if it wasn't relevant. Darrel's dumb. I'm sorry. You know what?
Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
A lot of dumb questions.
Is it Officer Booth or Detective?
Detective.
Sorry about that. Good morning, Detective Booth.
Good morning.
You've been in law enforcement for over 20 years. Would that be fair to say?
Correct.
At any time during your over 20 years of service, have you ever had any interaction with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Sustained.
Oh my God. What kind of question is that?
Can you state for the record if the plaintiff is in court today?
Oh my God.
Objection.
Sustained.
See, watch this, y'all. This is why I think that Darrell Brooks was partially insane. Because he's asking the same thing. He knows that the state is going to object. He knows it's not going anywhere. So what is the point? So that lets me know there's something mentally wrong. The elevator is not going all the way upstairs. I believe that he was partially insane. But I also believe that he knew what he was doing too. So it's almost like you got sativa and indica. In other words, you got a hybrid. Two forces at work. Come on.
Have you ever seen the plaintiff?
See that?
Sustained.
Going nowhere.
Do you even know of the plaintiff?
Objection.
Sustained.
Like, what is he trying to prove? Does he think that the jury is thinking the way he's thinking? Because he incessantly did this throughout the entirety of the trial. I mean, every witness. He had to be insane. He had to be not as insane across the board, but insane was definitely a factor. Oh my
Ever
God.
spoken to the plaintiff?
Oh,
Objection.
On
no.
what grounds?
Sustained.
On what grounds?
It's sustained. Next question.
May I ask what grounds, Your Honor?
Mr. Brooks, do you have another question?
I do. I was just trying to follow the rules that you set by saying that an objection has to have a basis. So
Unless it's self-evident to the court. It's sustained. Next question.
On what grounds, Your Honor?
See, watch this. He knows that the judge doesn't have to, it's not required by the judge to state the grounds. And I mean, that can even be refuted just like sometimes when the state objects and they actually state why they're objecting. He's still asking for the grounds when the grounds were already stated. Okay, so the judge is really not required to state the grounds. But I think he might have been doing that to try to make it seem like he was being treated unfairly by her in front of the jurors. He was trying to paint a picture that the jurors would say, wow, I'm asking for her to do something. She won't even do it. You see that? That's unfair to me. But what Darrell doesn't understand is the court is the judge of the law, okay? And the jury is the judge of the facts, okay? It's not about how you're being treated in court. They are to deliberate on the facts in light of what you did at that parade. See, he tries to deflect and try to change the dynamics. See, y'all see his game? That ain't nothing but a game.
Do you have another question? Otherwise, under 906.11, I will give the state an opportunity to ask any redirect.
Yes, I do have more questions.
Go ahead.
See, 20 years. Were at any time did Erica Patterson report any domestic incident to you?
Yes.
Do you remember the dates that she reported or date?
Yes.
At any time during that report, did you find her to be untruthful?
No.
Just 1 second.
See, he didn't prepare for this. He's reading it as he goes along, and he's going to ask some dumb questions. Watch this. He's trying to paint Erica Patterson as a liar, but watch how this gets debunked. Watch this.
I'm reading from the narrative of your report, and specifically the part where it says, what I learned from Erica Patterson was that when I spoke to her on the previous evening with Detective Barrett, she was not completely forthright with all of the information she had given. Would that be fair to say?
Correct.
So would it also be fair to say that from the report that you wrote, that you're acknowledging that there was some untruth in the report reported to you?
All right, so right there, apparently Darrell Brooks does not understand the definition of the word forthright. Forthright does not mean that you lied. Forthright means, if you're not forthright, that means you're not telling the story in its entirety. You just gave a fraction. You gave a scintilla of it. But Darrell thinks that not being forthright means that she was lying, prevaricating. But watch how he answers this brilliantly. I love Officer Goof is good. Watch this.
No, that's incorrect.
Exactly. Very incorrect. Because
You
that's
did
not
make this report, correct?
Correct.
So you did report that what you had learned from Erica Patterson was that when I spoke to her, now these are your words,
just get to the point.
when I spoke to her on the previous evening with Detective Barrett, she was not completely forthright. You said what you learned was that she was not completely forthright. So is it fair to say that there was some untruth to the report?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. See, Darrell is proving that he doesn't even know the definition of not forthright. That doesn't mean that you lied. That means you didn't tell the entire thing. Well, he doesn't know that. Oh, wow. And Zach is going to whoop his behind. Watch this. When he gets the cross. Watch this. He's going to whoop his behind with one question.
So why would that be in the report?
For various reasons. The most common reason is that when domestic victims report crimes that happen to them, a lot of times they're very afraid of their abuser, and so they don't always give all details, because if they do give all details about what happened to them, they feel like they might have something happen to them in a future date from that same abuser.
Exactly. That doesn't mean that they lied. It's just that they didn't tell the entire thing because they were afraid. Darrell was trying to spin this as if she was lying and made it up. No, That's not what not being forthright means. He doesn't know. Darrel's dumb. And this is supposed to be an attorney? What?
So would it be fair to say that you could have just stated what you just said in your report?
What?
I did state that.
Not in the report. Is it fair to say that obviously you've been in law enforcement for a very long time?
Just get to the point, Darrel. Come on.
Is that a question?
Would it be fair to say that it could have been reported in the way that you just stated instead of stating in your report that there was untruthfulness?
He never said that.
I didn't state untruthfulness in my report.
What is he talking
If you
about?
further read into the report, I state what I just stated.
What is he talking about? Yo, I'm surprised the state didn't object. That was a mischaracterization. He didn't say that she was untruthful. He said that she wasn't forthright, but Darrel thinks not forthright means untruthful, and he doesn't know the definition, and he's making himself look like an idiot in front of everybody in that courtroom. This ain't going nowhere. Wait till Zach come back on cross, because he's going to smack him. Watch this, only with one question. And then he going to say, no further questions, Your Honor. Come on. They waiting on him like, okay, you got another dumb question? He's just exposing himself. This is an expose.
So would it be fair to say, though, that the
Come on.
information wasn't completely forthright?
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean she was lying, dummy. He's dumb. He thinks not forthright means lying.
To the best of your knowledge, would it be fair to say that there was in fact only one incident?
No.
Darrel's looking stupid. He getting smacked. And the state ain't even on cross yet.
And would you be basing that, to the best of your knowledge, would you be basing that answer, the last answer, on hearsay?
No.
No.
Why? Wait a minute. Why would it be hearsay if he actually took the report from her? Like, he didn't hear it from nobody else. It was the report he got from Erica. What is he talking about? Darrel's dumb. This is an expose on the ignorance. Oh, I might just name it that. The expose on the ignorance of Darrel Brooks. He's making himself look like an idiot, man. This is crazy.
So you would be basing your answer on eyewitness account?
I'll check that relevance word.
Yeah, where we go with this? Sustain it.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
Thank
Next
you.
question, or you can rephrase it.
Can't rephrase a
Would
dumb
it be
question.
fair?
Unless he asks the dumb question
I don't
again.
know how I can rephrase that
Exact-
without asking it the same way, Your Honor.
Exactly. Well, ask another question, stupid.
Just give me a second, if I may.
Yeah, let him keep on winging it. Keep on winging it, you dumb fool. You don't know what the hell you doing. Sit down. You need to be saying no further questions. He's dumb.
At any time during your report or time spent with Miss Patterson,
Where is he going?
did she state where she may have been on November 20th of 2021?
Yes.
Do you recall what that was? What she said?
I recall what she said, yes.
To the best of your knowledge, do you believe that she was being truthful?
That's up to the
Yes.
jury.
I'm just going to advise the
Yeah.
jury that ultimately it's the jury's determination of credibility that matters.
See, now
and
watch this. That proves how dumb he is too, because no real attorney would ask about anybody being truthful, with the understanding that it's up to the jurors to to deliberate on that which is truthful or not. So he's just like I said, this is an expose of this fool in question. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. It's like he thinks that not being forthright means that a person is lying. Obviously, he's finding out that it's not. And he keeps going, keeps hitting at it, and he's making himself look like a fool. And then he's exposing how stupid he is by asking a question that just got basically shut down by the judge, with the understanding that the juror are the ones that will deliberate on what is facts in this case. Stupid. He's going nowhere with this.
you heard me read an instruction yesterday. That's obviously the instruction you'll follow ultimately in the jury room.
Obviously, he didn't read it.
To the best of your knowledge, do you recall any injuries on the first reported incident?
Yes.
Do you recall what they were?
Yes.
And do you recall any injury on the reported incident from the day of the parade?
Yes.
Do you remember what they were?
Yes.
Can you state on the record what they were?
On which day?
The 20th.
Her mouth was injured due to being slapped
Wow.
in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
He's just exposing himself in front of the jurors because he's the one that did it.
Can you recall for any reason why that would not be in the report?
It was in there.
It is.
You didn't read it, fool. He think he really goes somewhere with this crap.
To
Darrel,
the
just
best of
give it.
your knowledge,
He's winging it. He is winging the hell out of this
can you say where in the report that would be? Because I don't see it in the
Why don't you read it?
report that I have here before me.
Are you asking me which report states that she was injured in the mouth? Are you asking if it was reported to me that she was injured in the mouth?
No, I'm not. I'm asking you, why is there no injuries reported for that incident?
It
alleged
is.
incident.
It was reported to me that she was injured in the mouth by being slapped on the 20th.
Right. So where you going?
Are you aware that that was not testified to?
No.
No.
Hold on.
What grounds would that be hearsay? Your
Mr.
Honor?
Brooks, it's up for the jury to determine the
Exactly.
truthfulness of anything that's said or testified to in court.
Okay.
He was not present for any
Right.
other testimony, so it would not be proper for him to comment on that.
So that would be hearsay. See?
Next question.
He's dumb. Just stop. Just end this. End it, please. For your own good, Darrel.
Would it be fair to say that the reported alleged incident from the 20th is very, very vague in your report? Would that be fair to say? And by vague, I mean there's literally 3 sentences.
I don't have the report in front of me. If you're
I have it in
referring
front
to
of me.
vagueness, that's why I went back on the 22nd to interview her again to clarify information.
That makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. Every question is like he's digging his grave, digging even
So
further.
on the 22nd, and this is your report I'm reading from. It says, due to the influx of information, we were unable to make sense of all the information. Would that be fair to say?
Okay.
Correct.
He needed clarity. That's why he did the second interview, fool.
So it would be also fair to say that that would basically state that there were some things you weren't sure about.
Yes.
All right. So all he's doing is trying to paint a picture. He's still trying to make it seem like Erica Patterson lied, but she didn't. What he doesn't understand was she told him only a fraction. She just didn't tell the whole thing. It had nothing to do with her lying. But he keeps trying to hit at it, and he's not going anywhere. So that makes this whole thing circular. That's why look at Attorney Zach looking over there like, bro, where are you going? It's not going to work. Give it up.
You also say in your report that you had learned that there were two other individuals that may have been involved in the incident. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you remember the names of the two individuals?
Yes.
Would you state on the record what the names of the other two individuals were?
Corey Runkle, and the other individual's first name is Nick. I don't remember his last name.
Did
Nicholas
Corey
Kirby.
Runkle in any way report anything about the incident to you?
Not-
Which incident? Hold on. Which incident are we talking about?
From November the 21st of 2021.
Thank you. With that clarification, are you able to answer?
Not to me directly.
Do you recall if you had learned of any information about what Corey Runkle might have said to any other law enforcement?
Yes.
Do you recall what that was?
Yes.
I like his one-word answers. Yes.
Would you like to state on the record what that was that you may have learned?
I learned that she was with Erica Patterson on the 21st, on November 21st, 2021, when Erica Patterson was involved with a domestic incident. She responded to help her friend.
Do you recall of learning if Corey Runkle was with Erica Patterson on November 20th of 2021?
I don't think Corey Runkle was with Erica Patterson on the 20th.
And it couldn't have been reported in there. So we trying to make it seem like he was lying? Come on, man. The only liar we know is you.
You stated in the report that you were with Erica Patterson to kind of basically you took her on a drive to pretty much retrace her steps. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
At any time, did any incident about November the 20th of 2021 come into your conversations with Erica Patterson?
You talking about during the drive?
During the drive. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, I just want to make sure that the question's clear. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I believe we did talk about it, both incidents from the 20th and the 21st.
Do you recall what was said?
Yes.
Do you recall putting that into your report?
I recorded our conversation. I don't know if I put every detail of our whole recording into that report. In fact, I know I didn't. So not every detail from our recorded conversation is in that report. The report is a summary.
Exactly. And he didn't know that throughout
For
the entire
any
trial.
reason, to your knowledge, why would details of an incident not be reported accurately.
Objection, that mischaracterizes the evidence.
That
It's
is
also vague.
right.
Sustained.
Very mischaracterization.
To the best of your knowledge, why is that conversation that was supposed to be had not in your report at all?
Objection, this states the evidence.
Sustained.
He doesn't know what he's doing. Oh my God, Darrel, stop.
1 second.
Just end it. You're not an attorney. You're not an attorney, Darrel.
Sorry, Your Honor, I got tons of paperwork.
I don't find nothing funny about your ignorance. Well, yes, actually I do. That's why I'm up here making this video, you dumb fool. But Darrel, it's like I told y'all before.
1 second, Your Honor.
Every question, he's digging and digging his old grave. He's exposing himself. He's further exposing himself, given that the state already had exhibits of everything. Anyway, but he's further telling on himself.
And you stated that you interviewed Ms. Patterson on multiple days. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
He really think he going somewhere with this. He think he got
Both
something.
of those times that you interviewed Ms. Patterson, did the reporting ever deviate?
No.
Mr. Brooks, under 906-11. You need to.
Yeah, because he keeps asking the same thing. He's trying to find Erica in a lie, and he can't. And he's like asking it in multiple ways. Thank you, Judge, for kicking in. He's asked this before.
Clarify your question. It's ambiguous. It's
Right,
confusing.
big.
What I'm getting at by that question is, did what Ms. Patterson said change from interview to interview?
No, it was consistent. She just didn't tell him everything.
No.
Until the second one.
So at any time during your interview, did you learn less or learn more?
I learned more in my second interview.
So it would be fair to say that the information you learned changed.
No.
Would that be fair to say?
No.
Argumentative.
Overruled. He may answer.
It didn't, though.
It did not change.
Thank you.
I just learned more information.
In other words, she didn't lie. She didn't change her story. He just learned more. Because in the beginning, she didn't tell him everything. Come on, you ain't going nowhere with this, Brooks. Come on. Come on with it. And I like Goof, Detective Goof, because he putting up that fight with him. He ain't going nowhere.
More information about what alleged incident? The 20th, the 21st?
Both, honestly.
I'm
Both.
sorry.
Both, honestly.
So, would it be fair to say was it 2 interviews that you did or 3?
2.
2.
So both interviews, you continue to learn things that you didn't know from the previous interview.
Objection, asked and answered.
Right.
Sustained.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep asking the same stuff
Would it
and
be fair
you
to
ain't going
say that-
nowhere. You notice he asked him, was it 3? You notice he said, was it 3? He tried to trip him up. He knew it was 2. And got debunked and objected to because it was ask and answer because he keeps asking the same thing in different ways because of his ignorance. You know why? Because he thinks not being forthright means somebody lied. Stupid.
Well, let me back up from that.
Yeah, no, why don't you sit down? Like, shut up with this. No further questions. End it.
Would it be fair to say that
Would it be fair to say you're not going anywhere with this?
just 1 second, Your Honor.
He ain't going nowhere. He's been questioning Goof all this time, and it hasn't gone anywhere. The train has not left the tracks.
Report, if I may.
You're winging it. You can't get no more evident than that in terms of him winging this. Well, I don't know of any real attorney that would be
To the
doing
best
that.
of your knowledge, did Erica Patterson give any report to any other law enforcement that you were aware of?
No.
So to the best of your knowledge,
Put your papers down, fool.
you were the only detective that interviewed Miss Patterson?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Thank you.
Sustained.
Thank you. Going nowhere. Train has
To the
not.
best of your knowledge, were you the only one that interviewed Miss Patterson?
Oh my God.
Same objection.
Sustained.
Yes, it's the same thing. Yeah, he's partially insane.
At any time, did you learn anything
And fully stupid.
about the alleged incidents that Miss Patterson claimed from any other law enforcement?
Objection. Same reason.
Sustained.
He ain't going nowhere. He is not going nowhere with this. Not at all. Ain't that crazy? He questioned him for like what, almost 30 minutes, and out of that 30 minutes, he went nowhere.
At any time were you, or at any time did you view the video footage from White Rock School?
Yes.
Do you remember what you saw in those videos?
Yes.
You stayed on the record what you saw?
Under 906.11, I'm going
Thank
to
you.
advise the witness not to answer. That
Thank
video
you.
is in evidence. It will speak for itself. And his understanding of what's in there, at least at this point, is not relevant.
It certainly ain't.
Can you say what was the date
Date.
of the video that you saw?
November 21st, 2021.
What Darrell was gonna trip him up like he thought he was gonna say the 20th. Come
Did
on,
you see
man.
any video from the other alleged incident from November 20th?
I'll object. I don't see the relevance to anything
Because
that happened on the
exactly.
20th.
Sustained.
It ain't about the 20th. It's about the 21st, you fool. Darrell's trying to trip him up, but he still ain't. It ain't working. It ain't going nowhere.
Do you know if there might have been any video from the alleged incident on November 20th?
Same objection.
Sustained.
Grounds.
It's not relevant.
May I ask how is it not
Next
relevant?
question. There's not a charge related to the 20th, sir.
Exactly.
Not relevant. I've given you leeway to ask questions. At this
Hold-
point, under 906.11, move on.
Just so I'm clear, you have never had NT interaction with the plaintiff.
Oh God.
Sustained.
You've never seen the plaintiff.
Oh my God.
Sustained.
Never spoken to the
Oh
plaintiff.
no.
Objection.
Sustained.
Never seen. Do you see the plaintiff in court today?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you know if there is a plaintiff in this
Oh.
matter?
Objection.
Sustained.
Look at Zach laughing like this dude is stupid.
Have you had any prior knowledge of the
Oh.
plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Sustained.
Something wrong with him, man. Something wrong with Darrell, man.
Would it be fair to say that you do not know of any plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Sustained.
On grounds. The grounds.
Under 906.11, I'm declaring the cross-examination now closed. Do you have any redirect for this witness?
No, wait a minute. Now, why? Okay, now watch this. This goes back to my point. Darrell must have questioned that man, it's Goof, for about 30 some minutes. Now watch Zach get up. And watch this. So Darrell questioned him for 30 minutes and he went absolutely nowhere, right? Just wasted all that time going nowhere. Zach gets up and just smacks Darrell just with one question and refutes and debunks the whole narrative of him trying to paint Erica as a liar. Watch this. Watch this. Come on, Zach.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Bring it.
Detective, when you reported that Erica Patterson had been less than completely forthright with you, What did she leave out the first time you spoke with her?
She left out the incident that happened to her on November 21st, 2021.
The incident where she accused Mr. Brooks of punching her?
Correct.
Okay. You testified on cross-examination that in your general experience, victims of domestic violence do not report 100% of the details all the time.
Objection. Hearsay.
You asked him about it. Shut up.
Overruled.
Grounds.
Shut up.
He hasn't asked a question yet.
Grounds for the.
He can ask this question. This witness testified about his experience based on a question you asked. So
Exactly.
the redirect is appropriate.
May I just say that every situation is different, Your Honor?
Can't say that.
Which we
You're
do know
attempting to
that.
testify, so no, you may not say that. The jury will strike that comment made by Mr. Brooks. You'll have an opportunity, if you so choose, to testify at a later point in time in this trial. The state may ask its question.
Brooks is dumb as hell.
Did Erica Patterson provide to you a specific reason for her situation why she was not 100% forthright with you?
Yes.
What was that reason?
She was extremely afraid of Mr. Brooks.
Exactly.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Wow.
Right, thank you.
Wow.
Detective, you may.
Wow. Did y'all see how Zach artfully just did it in just what basically one question? And Brooks took 30 minutes and went nowhere. And Zach came by and just smacked him, just shut Brooks's whole claim down. Just with one question, just smacked him. And then he said, I have no further questions. It was over. Watch this. Now look at
Any reason to keep this witness under subpoena from
look at the look on Brooks's face.
Not from the
Watch
state.
anything from Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
All right, I'll take that up later and reserve that until I can review that with the parties. All right, this would be an excellent
Keep an eye
opportunity
on
to take a
Brooks's face.
mid-morning break. It's 10:49.
Look at it. Look
About
at it.
15 minutes. All rise for the jury. We are in recess.
He's still feeling the smacks, how Zach just shut him down. Just with one question, and you took 30 minutes and went nowhere. You fool.
Good idea.
Yeah, you feeling them effects. You got shut down by a real attorney, man. Thank you for listening, y'all.